What is going on, everybody? It's Alex. I'm back here on the video. And today we're doing round 2 of 3 of this mock draft. Now I'm still under the weather, so hopefully my voice sounds a little bit better. I feel a bit better than the other day when I recorded first round. I did not see your reactions yet for round 1. I just dropped it actually like 5 minutes ago. So we'll keep tweaking the draft. We'll keep tweaking the draft. One of the big things I'm questioning is right here with the Eagles. Like, I'm legit questioning taking a quarterback. Like there's some legit pause right there for me to want to take a quarterback. So we'll see how that turns out in the coming weeks. But still, we're here. We're at number 33 overall. If you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe. You know that YouTube stuff. And of course, if you guys are new, watch round 1. It was fun. Talked a little bit about that whole Henry Ruggs situation. And you guys are going to be seeing this featured quite a bit today because Jamba Juice, not a sponsor, I'm just a big fan of it. And I hadn't had it in years. And of course, when you get sick, you get the C booster. It's perfect. So regardless, again, not a sponsor. Of course, I am sponsored by Olipop, which is my favorite drink. I actually have a couple in the refrigerator right now. If I could taste better, I would definitely have it. It is the best drink ever. A little bit costly, but much more affordable with my 15% discount down in the description. Feel free to support me there as well. Number 33, Leones. We have taken a high-end linebacker as well as a high-end edge rusher in KT. So we're doing pretty well right now. I think that a good spot to go would probably be wide receiver. George Pickens has that wide receiver 1 upside. I would consider taking him here. Jahan Dotson is another guy. I honestly feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe even trading back at this point. Quarterback is something that I would definitely be looking at pretty heavily here. Of course, that was like really wacky. Yeah, honestly, because I think that getting a guy like Carson Strong in a little bit is a lot better value than pretty much like going after anybody and reaching. So this is a weird spot because I'm used to being able to take a linebacker like Devin Lloyd at this point or something like that. I don't see the value here besides George Pickens, he's a young X receiver. It's just hard to say that he deserves to go number 33 overall after missing a year from an ACL tear. I do have some pause for concern right there. Safety-wise, though, there are still some very high-end safeties on the board. We could continue developing our secondary right there. I know I've been doing pretty well for you guys drafting-wise. I have not tested out the safety role yet. However, there are some really, really good safeties. And I'm trying to think who you guys have. I know that I think Duron Harmon's starting a strong safety. So getting a guy like Jaquan Brisker, who's probably going to go by 36 anyways, would be an excellent addition to the squad. Plus, it allows another I'm pretty sure it's a senior, more veteran presence to come in. Wouldn't be a bad decision. Jaquan Brisker is a monster on the field. Jalen Catalon still is above him for me, but again, different position entirely. So I think that's actually the right move. Let's get Jaquan Brisker right here out of Penn State, continue developing that defense and being able to make it a kick-ass team. Again, the offense, it needs some help, but I'm just a little bit more cautious when it comes to taking guys for reaching for guys with ACL tears versus a guy who I know is going to be an actual impact. Number 34 with the Texans. I mean, this is a spot where I could see a quarterback going. They do seem pretty desperate. Davis Mills owns 6 so far starting. That's a little bit rough. Yeah, I can really see a guy like Desmond Ridder getting all that hype. People do think of him as the best quarterback in the class. Some people. I think he's not anywhere near that, but I can't, like a team like the Lions where there's so many more holes where, Jared Goff's there. He was a former Super Bowl quarterback. This team that has Davis Mills, and no disrespect to Davis Mills, who was a 3rd rounder in my book. We went in the 3rd round. He was a late 3rd for me, but he doesn't have the upside that a Super Bowl quarterback does. If Jared Goff gets his head and ass wired together, maybe something could happen. I just don't think they are not going to be reaching on a guy like Desmond Ridder versus a team that, he would actually fit really well in there. And I think it's just a really good fit. Desmond Ridder, it's just an impact that is instant. And honestly, if he doesn't end up working, like Davis Mills could be traded away to a team that's more desperate for a backup or somebody with some higher upside, or Desmond Ridder can be traded away. There's just unlimited potential right there for what you guys want to do, depending on who develops. Desmond Ridder is a totally different style of quarterback than what Davis Mills is. And so far, Davis Mills hasn't been the answer. So maybe Desmond Ridder's style could be something that is a little more conducive to a victory. Number 35, because again, he also is a little bit closer to Tyrod Taylor, who did get your 1 win of the season. The good old Dolphinos. This one, I would legit look at linebacker. You know, Christian Harris is still on the board. I think that's an excellent addition to the team. So let's pick him up. Christian Harris out of Alabama. Just a guy with a lot of upside. And if he develops a little bit more, that's probably going to be one of the top linebackers in the NFL. His athleticism is undeniable. He just looks a little lost on the field sometimes, and that scares me a bit. So getting Christian Harris is probably a good start. Number 36 with the Jaguars. I know edge is a big issue, and Myjai Sanders is still here. I think you have to take him. You could go outside linebacker with Adam Anderson, but Myjai has that versatility. I think he's around like 255. Yeah. He can work on the outside as well as the inside. I think that's going to be a lot more valuable to you guys over time. So Myjai, lock him in. Number 37 with the Giants. I don't know why I was begging on the Giants name. I would consider trading back here. Brandon Smith is on the board. That's a legit option. I don't know if they're going to invest on the defense more than the offense right now, though. I think a trade back and getting a guy like Jeremy Ruckert or Jalen Weidermeyer might be the better option, or even Trey McBride. I just don't think that the Giants are really going to. It's a tough one for me. It's really tough. That is interesting, to say the least. Let's see. Honestly, if I could, yeah, this is a tough one for me right now because there's a lot of really good options on the board as well. You know, there are teams that will want an upside like Trevor Penning. And I think I actually might have a team trade up for Trevor Penning right now because Sean Ryan, Trevor Penning are still on the board and they need to be coming off the board. And also Washington's going to be wanting one of them. So the Indianapolis Colts are going to be making a micro trade, not really micro, making a small trade up with the New York Giants, offering maybe a 5th rounder. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe we can get like a 7th fleeced out in return. Who really cares? It's a 7th round pick. And we are going to be moving up to select Trevor Penning, high upside left tackle out of Northern Iowa. I do like him. He makes a lot of big impact plays, and he likes to pancake people. So him and Quentin Nelson on the left side. Quentin Nelson could be an amazing mentor to him. This spot, I'm 100% pulling the trigger on Sean Ryan, left tackle out of UCLA. He can work as a guard as well if you want that in the short term over Brandon Scherf. And I think that can actually pay dividends in the long run. Number 39 with the Jets. There's a lot of different routes I could go right here. A lot of them. I could go right tackle. We can go Daniel Faalele, and it's probably a route that I'm thinking of going. I know the Bears are going to be taking him by that time. So honestly, I'm probably going to take him here anyways. I think that's the right move. You know, you do need a right tackle for the future, and you can put him at right guard. We've gotten Derek Stingley, and we've gotten as well Tyler Linderbaum. You could solidify that offensive line with Daniel Faalele and play him at guard for a little bit, and then move him to tackle. But imagine the upside of Daniel Faalele, 6'9", 380 pounds, and Mekhi Becton at 375 as your 2 bookends. Like, you want to invest in Zach Wilson, invest in the offensive line. Even if Zach Wilson doesn't pan out, you still have a great offensive line. And Daniel Faalele fits perfectly right there. We see the little run on tackles, leaving the Eagles sitting here going after Brandon Smith. I thought about taking for the Giants. I just don't think the Giants could be looking for a linebacker like Brandon Smith. Eagles are definitely going to be a little more desperate. If I could take it back, I would have probably traded up with the Jaguars because I can't see an edge going in here. And the Jaguars could have made some more big splash plays and went with Brandon Smith. And I still would have traded back with the Giants anyways. But Giants are sitting here. Henry To'oTo'o is not going to be in this draft. He's not going to come out. There's no way, especially with the amount of linebackers that just went before him. Next year's class, I'm not 100% sure how good that's going to be, but he needs to develop a lot more, even than Christian Harris. Still, I don't know why wide receiver is a need for this team. We already got an edge rusher. Tight end, I think this is where we see the first one. Jeremy Ruckert has like some major blocking upside. So it's Trey McBride, Jeremy Ruckert, or Jalen Weidermeyer. Pick whichever one you guys want because I think they're all pretty interchangeable besides Trey McBride. Trey McBride's a little bit more of an all-around tight end, very good receiving upside. I think that Ruckert and Weidermeyer are a little bit better on the blocking side, but Ruckert has the best blocking, arguably, in the class. I'm going to take Jeremy Ruckert here. You know, he's more that Kyle Rudolph type of vibe, and it's something that you guys have been missing. So get Jeremy Ruckert, be able to have somebody who can both block as well as receive in a very high level. And plus he has Big Ten experience. So Jeremy Ruckert to the Giants, lock it in. Number 42 with the Seahawks. I still think going after corner wouldn't be a terrible idea here. Roger McCreary's still on the board. Martin Emerson also on the board. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. I would look at Roger McCreary over Martin Emerson for this team, but that's not saying much. Dude, there's so many good edges on the board though. Just none of them fit exactly what the Seahawks would go after. Except for Zion. Zion Tuapoloa Fatui is actually perfectly what I think that the Seahawks would go after. It's who they're taking. 20 snaps into his career this season, and he got triple teamed. So, the teams know how damn good this guy is. This guy's a major impact player. Plus, the Seahawks always reach anyways. So seeing a weird name pop up in the middle of the second round, not that crazy. Number 43 with the Bears. We're getting a little crazy here. We're getting a true number one receiver, George Pickens. AR-12 is going to be gone. This team could use a true number one. So George Pickens out of Georgia. You already missed out on your right tackle of the future. Don't miss out on your future at receiver. 44 with the Falcons. Another team that would have considered George Pickens. Drake Jackson. You guys know what it's all about. I think the only reason Adam Anderson's falling, who he's a top 15 player in my draft board, is because 230 pounds is a little bit rough. Even Drake Jackson's at 250, right? Like he's 6'5", 230. It's not like he's 6'1", 230. He's not a very short compact dude. This guy's lanky as all get go, and he's a weird hybrid. But I'll have a team trade up for him soon. This team, you already know where I'm going. Martin Emerson is a perfect fit on this team. He is a lockdown corner out of Mississippi State. Hopefully the athleticism isn't that much of a negative hit, but we all know the Niners can make people who are not very athletic look very good. 46 with the Vikings. Wow, I had a hard time right there. This is where Jalen Catalon's going to go. You want to get a rangy safety. I think that he's going to be the best fit. I don't want someone who's going to be a pure, like a slot safety like Daxton Hill. Hold up. Brandon Joseph is so much better of a fit because he can play strong in the short term and then learn how to play free in the long. I think that's a much better fit because I love my boy Jalen Catalon, but I don't know about that much. Number 47 with the Patriots. I would actually look at Jalen Catalon here. Can you imagine that? That'd be insane. Jalen Catalon on the damn Patriots. He'd end up becoming a Hall of Fame type of safety. He's just so fast, so athletic. His one issue is tackling. So, that would actually be a pretty good addition to this team. Regardless, I can see Adam Anderson going here as well. I just think that they like larger dudes. Nick Benito, another guy who I could see is stacking in there. Again, right there, 6'2", 231. It's a bit different than 6'5", 230, right? The 3 inches of height just makes a big difference. I think that, honestly, Nick Benito wouldn't be a bad addition. I just don't think they need edge rushers. I really don't. I will probably be drafting one later on anyways, but I think they take a high-end player out of Arkansas, Jalen Catalon. Big fan of him. I love Jalen Catalon. He's like a heat-seeking missile. So, number 48 with the Broncos. I think this would be a good spot to test out a guy like Nick Benito. Von Miller's gone. That's a big oof. Adam Anderson's just too tall. Again, I just think he's a little too lanky. Nick Benito could be that dude for you. He could be. So big fan of Nick Benito and his potential. Adding him to the squad definitely has some major pluses. With the Browns on the board, man, I wish I could get Adam Anderson off the board. There's just not many teams that are going to be taking him right now. With the Brownies on the board, they just lost Odell Beckham Jr. So they're actually going to be taking David Bell out of Purdue. A true number one style wide receiver. I think he'll probably end up being a number 2 in the NFL. However, he's shown dominance to be able to warrant a round 2 pick. I know y'all have been going off saying this guy's getting disrespected. No longer. He's going at number 49, David Bell, to the Browns. Number 50. I think this is a good spot to get a guy like Daxton Hill to replace whoever the hell you guys want to. Daxton Hill is an amazing safety. So get him, slot him in, and be able to do whatever you want. Number 51 with the Jets, Jets. I think this could be a good spot to go running back in Kenneth Walker. I mean, you could go a multitude of routes. Tight end is another one that, tight end wouldn't be bad, but I know you guys have a couple dudes there now. Could route a couple guys on free agency, and they're actually performing pretty well. I think a true bell cow back that could work in RBBC with Michael Carter would be really good. I think Kenneth Walker has shown with like a 5 touchdown game against Michigan that he is different and he's going to be elite. So Kenneth Walker the third going to the Jets. Big fan of that. I like how this draft's actually turning out. With the Chargers on the board, this is where Adam Anderson stops falling. He's a beast. So do not stop disrespecting my dude, or do not disrespect my dude anymore. Adam Anderson out of Georgia being able to fill where that Uchenna Nwosu role is. The Steelers, we need to get a tackle desperately. It's Jackson Kirkland right there in Mumford. There's only one guy with actual reps on the right side of the line, and also we might need a right guard spot. That's Jackson Kirkland. There, Mumford's an excellent addition to 95% of teams. I just think that the Steelers are in more of that zone run scheme, and now with Malik Willis, they probably want somebody better on the move, and Jackson Kirkland is great on the move. Bengals. I want to see who's still on the board and tier off the line. There's absolutely nobody. I'm trying to see if you can get a center because, well, I mean, I don't know how much you're going to value your like 5th round pick out of Georgia. I'm forgetting his name. I think it's Trey Hill. I don't know how much you're going to value that, but you know, I don't want to disrespect CJ Uzama, but tight end could definitely be on the radar right now. Corner, definitely. I think there are guys like Roger McCreary that are worth this pick. Kyler Gordon, another one. So we're going to actually take Roger McCreary. He's a very solid corner out of Auburn. I think he can work really well in zone or man. There you go. So he's an all-around scheme fit. You can put him wherever you want, and I think he actually has the upside to make a very, very big difference in the NFL. Number 55 with the Saints. I think it's another team that wants a high-end corner. I think Kyler Gordon could be a really, really good addition to this team. Kyler Gordon out of Washington. I think he's not getting enough respect that he deserves. He's been playing at a very high level. And it's like, maybe he won't go in the second round, but he kind of deserves to. With the Bucs on the board, there's too many quarterbacks right now. I think we're going to be trading back with a team in the Lions to move up to be able to select their future at quarterback, Carson Strong. So we're going to require a 5th round pick to get out of there. We're not even going to sugarcoat it and get a 7th round return. We're going to be saying that 5th round in. We're getting Carson Strong out of Nevada. Kenny Pickett deserves to be up in this spot too, so he will be probably drafted by the end of this round. But still, Carson Strong has that upside to be like really, really high end. Has that arm strength. He was able to do an amazing 2-minute drill, and that's a big part of the NFL. Can you be clutch? And he was. So 57 with the Bills. It's another spot. I'm looking for a trade back. Kenny Pickett's on the board. Any team want to take him? I'm looking right here. Falcons. Falcons definitely could move up and take him. Looking at other teams, you could look at the Giants to move up and take him. I'm just trying to see, is there any other team that I would be legit wanting to do that? The Panthers. Dude, where's the Panthers 3rd round pick? Y'all gotta tell me where that Panthers 3rd round pick is, because I do not know. I want to see where this is. Where are the Panthers at? NFC South. So who cares? Jaguars. They do not have that. Very interesting, because honestly, Kenny Pickett is a perfect answer to their problems. So actually, we're going to be doing that. We're actually going to be trading up with the Panthers. However, we're going to be sending in next year picks. We're going to send a next year 2nd along with this year 4. I think that's 100% fair. It's the equivalent of a 3 and a 4, which is an extremely heavy price to pay. However, the Bills are literally saying, hey, we're going to say screw it to our 2nd round pick, and that's going to require a 2nd. So Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh, it's pretty obvious that Sam Darnold's not the actual answer to this team. And Kenny Pickett actually has some really high-end play in him. There's a strong cutoff after that because Tanner McKee, Spencer Rattler are going to be returning, in my opinion. So you need to do that. Kenny Pickett, Carson Strong are going to be the last guys who are worth drafting in the short term. Good job to the Panthers for being able to make that work. A lot better than the 2nd round pick. Now, with the Raiders, we already went after wide receiver. That's off the list. I would definitely take a look in the interior defensive line. And I'm going to take Travis Jones out of UConn. He's a freaky athlete at 13% body fat, around 320-something pounds. That is unbelievable. That's also like kind of weirdly like unhuman. So I think that that's going to get him drafted very high for that reason. And if any team's going to take a guy out of UConn, it's going to be the damn Raiders or the Seahawks. So there you go. With the Cowboys, I love this pick. I've loved it for a while. Thayer Mumford at Ohio State. You need a dude who's going to be able to play your tackle. I was just praying that I hadn't taken a tackle earlier. Guy who can play left tackle when Tyron Smith eventually retires, and that he can play guard because Connor Williams is coming up on a contract, and I'm praying y'all don't pay him because Thayer Mumford is an excellent addition to the team. Also, there's a big drop off after him, so big fan of that. Number 60 to the Giants. Oh, look at that. There's the Rams pick. The Giants. Why did I say the Giants? The Packers, dude. The Packers. I think you guys are going to be going after an edge rusher. I really like the idea of Jermaine Johnson. He is a freaky athlete, and he's around 250 pounds. Yeah, he just has all the experience to make a day one impact, and I think that he's going to have a very, very good season. Number 61, Ravens. Ravens, we already kind of got that offensive tackle situation fixed up. I would definitely be looking at some extra corner depth here with Noah Daniels, and that's probably where I'm going to be going, in all fairness. However, there is a high-end player in Isaiah Likely still on the board, and I think that they're going to like the upside from him as a pure receiver. Getting Darren Waller back on the team is probably a good idea. Now, you could take Jalen Weidermeyer and have him be more of a Max Williams type. That's kind of where I've been going for a while, but let's have a little bit of fun. Isaiah Likely, use him as your new Darren Waller. 62, the Broncos back on the board. This could be a good spot to get offensive line. Just again, there's not really much for you guys. Safety wise, you could get a guy like Tyke Smith to play that slot corner role. I don't think Callahan's going to return unless you guys make a really big splash in free agency. So I think that Tyke Smith out of Georgia is going to be a perfect slot corner replacement for Bryce Callahan. Lock him in. It's the best value on the board. 63 back with the good old Falcons. I would definitely look at a guy like Perion Winfrey, Haskell Garrett, Devontae Wyatt as guys who I'd probably consider at the spot. Wide receiver wise, you guys got to get a true number one. I'm hoping you guys can get Odell Beckham Jr., but Jahan Dotson is such a steal at this point that you have to take him. He's a speed burner. Worst case scenario, you can use him in the slot, and that's going to be great, even though he's a perimeter receiver. I just love Jahan Dotson. I just don't know why he continues falling, just the way that the draft goes. Now, with the Cards, I would be considering Trey McBride as a big addition here. Select him, lock him in. It's going to be a really good weapon for Kyler Murray, and I love the upside because, again, if it busts out, it's a second-round pick, but if it booms, he's able to learn behind Zach Ertz. Like, yes, that's perfect. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.